Hello and welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. It's me, Paul Nealon, and I'm here as always to talk a little bit about Irish football. And after last night's performance from the under-21s, I just wanted to talk about how good of a job Stephen Kenny's been doing for the under-21s since he's came in. Now, he's been in the job less than a year, but it's very telling the contribution he's already made as under-21 manager. So because you go back to when Noel King was in charge, and there was no real buzz around the under-21s. There was no players really coming through that much. It wasn't really being used as a system to bring through players. A lot of our players were kind of just getting drafted in, being quite old. We never really had a system in place where the players would start kind of coming through, and now he seems to have that. From the under-21s with Jim Crawford, Keith Andrews as his coaching staff, and then underneath him he's got Colin O'Brien, and he's got Andy Reid and a few other, Jason Donoghue. So and they're all kind of working in tangent, and you can see that. But what I like about the under-21s as well is that they're not afraid to have a go. You look at the team that played last night. Two of the players that played in, I know Liam Scales came in as a left back for Darragh Leahy, but Stephen Kenny could have took the easy option and not played any League of Ireland players, but he went with his gut and instinct, and he played Liam Scales at left back, who had a fantastic game. Really looks like a player who could go up a level and sign for a really good club. No disrespect to UCD, but he's been linked with a few good clubs, Man City being one most notably. So, as I say, it's no disrespect to UCD, but I do think he could sign for someone really good and really kick on his career, because he's flying at the minute. And then you had Zach Elbouzedi from Waterford, who as well is a really good player, and Stephen Kenny really seems to trust him. Played him in the Toulon tournament and has stuck with him. I know he's been injured and now he's kind of coming back. He still looks a little bit like he's lacking that bit of sharpness, but I think he'll get it back soon enough. But what I'm saying basically is Stephen Kenny could have took the easy option there and played Michael Obafemi instead of Zach Elbouzedi, and he came in and held his own. There's a serious setup there from the defenders right up midfield, strikers. There's so many good players. From the keeper, Caoimhín Kelleher looked so comfortable last night against a really big physical Italian side. They didn't have that many chances because Darragh O'Shea and Conor Masterson were brilliant, and then Leo Connor was excellent at right full. As I said, Liam Scales was brilliant at left back. Malumbi and Coventry absolutely outstanding in the middle. Troy Parrott didn't have a great night, obviously, because he got a second yellow for absolutely nothing. It wasn't his fault. Got sent off. He's probably kicking himself that he did get sent off. He didn't seem too impressed after the game. I can understand his frustration because, as I said, Moise Keane actually pushed him in the face. He didn't do anything wrong, but he got a second yellow nonetheless. The ref was a joke either way, but you just kind of look around the team. Adam Eda was superb up top as well. So and they were still missing a couple of players. Obviously, Aaron Connolly got promoted and stuff like that. But this is what I'm saying, is that Stephen Kenny had to improvise with some of his players, some of his best players being called up. You do forget that he had Nathan Collins on the bench as well, who's captain of Stoke. And then you had Jason Knight came on. He did really well when he came on. I mentioned Obafemi before. Jason Malumbi looks like a superb player. There's so many players there that it's quite frightening actually, because there's so many good players there. But what I'm saying to you is they all go back to Conor Ronan, of course, excellent player as well. But you kind of go back to Stephen Kenny for a minute. I kind of got a bit carried away with the players there, but the players all said it last night. Stephen Kenny brings that confidence to them. And a lot of people question whether Stephen Kenny was going to be good enough for the job or not. Now, I think they were all saying last night, 7 months ago, he came in, you wouldn't have thought we'd be saying things like, who would have thought we're disappointed not to beat Italy, who are, Stephen Kenny said, the second best team in Europe when he went to watch them. So the fact that we're going out and we're not actually afraid to play these teams, we're not afraid to play the way we want to play, is absolutely amazing. I think that's testament to the manager. And I do think he needs to get maybe a bit more credit off some of the other people who have been coming out and criticising him and say that he wouldn't be able to make the grade as the senior team manager. You can only judge him on the job he's doing and on the job he's done. So for me, I'm delighted to see Stephen getting credit from some parts of the media, but I think he needs to start getting it from all corners. Sorry, and I just think he's doing an absolutely brilliant job. And I think the under-21s are a joy to watch, and it's so refreshing to have this bit of positivity back in Irish football. You know, obviously Mick's come in and done really well, and there's positivity in that as well. And obviously, if the weekend results go in our favour and Tuesday in Geneva, you know, you can't argue what Mick's done either. But obviously, it's a gradual succession between Mick and Stephen, and that's perfectly fine in my eyes. I know some people just don't get it, but for me, I'm happy there's a plan in place for the next manager to come in, and there's no manager sticking around for too long, and you know, results not going away. Mick's done a fantastic job either way. You go back to a year ago when we couldn't even beat Northern Ireland, and you know, results were abysmal. We got beat by Wales 4-1, and Denmark, the 2 games there, I suppose we kind of done well on those, but there was just no goals, no nothing. You know, now we've players like Aaron Connolly and that coming through again, but it's such a good positive time in Irish football, and I do think that to be fair, I think the FAI got that decision right with Kenny and Mick, but I like the way the managers are all working in tangent, and Stephen Kenny is not afraid to throw young guys in. You know, you look at the Italian team they played last night, and they all look like men, like fully grown men. You got Cotroni in there, Moise Keane as well. So the fact that Stephen was playing 17-year-old Troy Parrott, and you know, there was 19-year-olds being played in there and stuff like that. Adamida or Ida, whatever you want to call them. But for me, like I'm really excited about this bunch. They have a great opportunity to go to Iceland and get a result there, and they'll be on course then to qualify. So, you know, you just look at the back of the 19s. A lot of the players that were in that 19 squad have been bumped up to 21s now. You know, so it's great to see that bit of positivity back in Irish football. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Stephen Kenny's done a great job so far, and are you looking forward to him taking the reins at the senior level? Or are you more excited to see what he can produce with this group of under 21 players while he has them in the squad? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.